guys, and welcome back to the latest episode of our YouTube channel, Life of Klee. We got Mrs. Skye here. Beautiful blue eyes today, Skye, haven't you? Skye, you got some beautiful blue eyes. We got Copper, who's trying to stay out of trouble as always. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, I would love if you could hit subscribe. I know these two would be very, very happy. Right, guys? You want some more subscribers? Is that true, Copper? You're looking to build your YouTube channel, Copper? Yeah? You fancy a bit more YouTube followers? Yeah? So today we're going to go back to focusing on the Alaskan Klee. These cute little mini Huskies. We're going to talk about some bad habits that Alaskan Klee have. But yeah, despite the good looks, Copper, these guys do have a couple of bad habits that they have to work on. And some that perhaps they can't really help, but I would classify them as a bad habit, or I have for the purposes of this video. I would like to make clear from the start that these are the bad habits based upon my experience with two Alaskan Klee. And also I've kind of included ones that I know other Alaskan Klee owners have spoken to me about, so I don't think it's a situation. So they're not traits that are unique or exclusive to Skye and Copper. But having said that, potentially some Alaskan Klee owners will say, hang on a second, we don't have any experience of these bad habits. So just bear that in mind as you're watching this video, but these are the bad habits that I've experienced. First bad habit I'm going to talk about is prey drive. So the Alaskan Klee in my experience have quite a high prey drive. Now, as you can see, there's trees outside, and there's usually a couple of squirrels running around those trees. There's potentially some birds as well up in the top of the branches. And we have some cats who have a prey drive of their own that they're trying to handle. But in regards to the Alaskan Klee, I would say that they have quite a high prey drive. So whenever we take them outside, if they see a bird, a squirrel, or a cat, they will go nuts unless we use correction. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. If they're off the lead, and we know this from experience, if they were to see a squirrel or whatever, they would be gone. All that recall training that we've done, Copper, would be useless, wouldn't it? As soon as they see some kind of small animal and it's moving, they're off after it. And you're gonna wanna make sure that if you are walking your dog, either they've got great command and will 100% listen to you and come back if they see a squirrel or a rabbit or whatever might be taking flight. And if not, you want to keep them on a leash, because the last thing you want to do is lose your Klee. The second bad habit that Alaskan Klee have is escape artists, and it kind of ties into the first one, so that's why I put it up next. Focus is on little Skye here, because she is the lady that has escaped the most out of the two of our Alaskan Klee. I would say they are very, very clever little dogs, and if there is a way to get out of your garden or your yard, they're going to find it, especially if they've seen something they want to chase. In Skye's experience, she has escaped twice, and it actually hasn't been from her own garden. It has been when she's been with friends who have been babysitting her. And at the time, the garden of the yards looked pretty secure. We couldn't really see a way out of there for her. But would you believe it? She found a way out, and off down the street she went. And my poor friend had to chase her down 5 or 6 blocks before he finally realized that chasing wasn't going to work. So he ran back the other direction, and then she started to chase him. Maybe that was the prey drive kicking in. Now, something that helps them become escape artists is that they're very, very good at jumping. And of the two of these guys, if there was an Olympic competition tomorrow for the best high jumper, it would actually be Copper, and he's smaller. Copper can jump extremely high, and it's incredible when you see it. And for that reason, I would also say you'll want to make sure that you have quite a high fence and that your dog can't scale it, because even though it may seem quite big, Copper is able to jump 4 or 5 feet pretty easily, and we've seen it with our own eyes. Definitely something to consider if you're trying to Klee proof your garden or your yard. Check in for the squirrels. Daily update, please. Do you see any? None today? Skye, you're not on duty, no? You're just gonna chill? Fair enough. Third bad habit that these little cuties have is scavengers. They've definitely got a scavenger mentality. When I'm talking about scavengers, I'm not on about pirates raiding islands. I'm talking about they will pick up anything they see on the floor, especially outside. Quite a few fried chicken shops in London, and I always have to pay special attention when we're walking past one of these shops, because she goes absolutely crazy smelling all the chicken bones that are left on the floor by people that have eaten them and not put them in the bin. And it's obviously a hazard for dogs to be chewing small bones that could splinter and can cause other problems. And that definitely highlights the scavenger mentality that they have. Even when we take these guys out for potty, we have to pay attention, because we have a little bit of grass that we take them to. And these guys go crazy sniffing for anything that looks half edible. They will eat it. Now, obviously, if you have your dog very well trained on the command leave it or drop it, then at least hopefully they will spit out whatever they put into their mouths, but that is not always the case. As anyone who has a dog who's ever picked up a chicken bone that they just fancy a little bit too much, it's not the easiest thing to prise it out of their mouth if they're not going to drop it. I would say a part of my life as being a Klee owner is being very, very aware. Are we right, Skye? Are we gonna be aware? I think we are very aware that you and your brother might pick something off the street or off the ground and eat it, something that you're not supposed to. So that is definitely a consideration if you're thinking about getting one of these little mini Huskies. Bad habit number 4. It is something that we get asked quite a bit on our YouTube channel. Oh, feeling a bit tired, guys, are we? Already bored of this video? Are they noisy? And in short, they can be noisy. Now, if you've watched any of our other YouTube videos, you'll know that Copper in particular can be quite talkative, and if I want him to talk, I can get him to talk. Otherwise, I would say they're not that noisy. I mean, Skye doesn't make any noise really, apart from when she plays with Copper. When they're playing, you can expect a bit of noise, but otherwise not really. So the one time I'd say their noisiness might get a bit too much is if they're out looking out the window and they're barking at another dog going by, if they see a cat. They do have that kind of watchdog characteristic. And perhaps for everybody, that won't be a good thing. For us, it's not the end of the world. The only time it gets really bad is if they do see another dog playing and this lady gets insanely jealous and we'll hear about it. But otherwise, I don't think they're that noisy. So we're into the 5th bad habit. And Copper, what is the last bad habit you want to tell us about? Separation anxiety has definitely been something that's challenged Copper, and it has really made us change the way we go about our daily lives. Leaving Copper is now something that we really have to take a lot of consideration into. So we try to plan out when we're going to go out of the house, if we're meeting friends, if we have to go shopping. We always take into account how long are we going to be, can we leave Copper alone for that long? Now, we have tried working on it and we've made progress, but it is still something that we're trying to improve upon. It is something that a lot of Alaskan Klee owners have mentioned to me, we have been asked about in our Instagram DMs, and something that I've seen others post about. So do your research, read up about it, find out how you can tackle the issue, or perhaps ways to soothe your dog or work on training on separation anxiety. It is something that can be worked upon, but it will take a lot of time and effort from your side. So I think it's something that people who are thinking about getting a Klee should really educate themselves on and be aware of, because to be totally honest, we were caught off guard by it, and we should have done more research about it before we had got Skye. So that's it, that's the 5 bad habits that Alaskan Klee have. If you're thinking about getting a Klee, please do proper research. That can involve reading stuff online, heading over into the Alaskan Klee Association of America's website. Perhaps you can message some Klee owners on Instagram to find out about their experience, because I find the best way to learn more about dogs is actually speaking to people who have the breeds or the mixes or the rescue dogs, and they can tell you more about them and what challenges you should be prepared for. So I think that's it. We're going to sign off there. As you can see, Skye and Copper plan to spend the rest of the day sunbathing on the bed and the chair, so I'm going to let them to it, no more pestering them. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe, I'd really appreciate it, and we're trying to grow our YouTube channel. And if you are thinking about getting an Alaskan Klee and you've come across this video, why not head over to our Instagram and send me a DM. If you have any more questions, we'd be happy to help.